Wow, this took a lot of effort to just simply set this up. But welcome to the Blondie Pop podcast. I filmed a couple podcast episodes earlier in the year, but then it just completely fell off. And now I really want to actually make this come to fruition. So I'm starting off strong with a solo episode, and I will be going over my ins and outs for 2026. Moving forward, I'm going to have guest speakers. So definitely tune in for those. So, as seen on my Instagram story, I made an ins list and an outs list for 2026. We're going to go through those together because I thought elaboration was needed. I thought it could be fun. Oh my gosh. Why am I getting nervous? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, to kick things off, we're going to start with my ins list for 2026. Number one is being selective. When we talk about being selective, that could apply to multiple different avenues in your life. Selective with obviously dating, selective with friendships, selective with energy and time. But I think when I go inward and think about myself, I need to be really selective with where I'm spending my money. I say yes to a lot of dinners, a lot of brunches. When you live in a major city like Chicago, that is one of the avenues that us girlies like to do for fun. And as much as I absolutely thoroughly enjoy it, my bank account hates that. So I need to be really selective. I can't just do a fancy dinner every week. Like, I'm a 27-year-old girl who's trying to make it out here. I'm not like a 55-year-old who is close to retirement and just has the budget for miscellaneous things. I on the other hand need to be a little strategic. So that's when I think of being selective, it's what dinner do I want to attend? What brunch do I want to go to? Like, where do I want to spend my money for fun activities? And I'm not saying life can't be fun without spending money. I think that's also part of it is trying to find ways to have fun and maybe also be productive and not drop $200 every time I leave the house. Number two, tomato soup and grilled cheese combo. You quite literally can't go wrong with this. It's never a miss. So if you haven't been engaging in a tomato soup and grilled cheese for a lunch, for a dinner, I would highly recommend that you do because it's in for 2026. Number three, being self interested. This was one that my therapist gave me and I coined it. So thank you, Meg. Being self interested is different than being selfish per se, but it's asking yourself, what do I want out of this relationship? Whether it's a friendship, whether it's romantic, whether it's with a coworker, what do I want this relationship dynamic to look like? Asking yourself that question instead of letting yourself always be maybe thrown around and just going with what other people expect of you, what other people want from you. Be self interested. Ask yourself in so many different scenarios, what do I want? What do I want to do? Do I want to go to this workout class or do I want to go to this movie? Number four, Aritzia workers style. If there's one thing I know, it's that the Aritzia workers know ball. Seriously, walk into an Aritzia store, they all know ball. They're all on fashion game, like head to toe. That is my entire style inspo that's super in for 2026. I would also go as far to say Hailey Bieber. Hailey Bieber style. Kendall Jenner style, both of those queens. That was what my style developed into halfway through 2025, but I'm really carrying that into 2026. And I think in general, that's what's in. So if you need inspiration, walk to your nearest local Aritzia store. I'm sorry if you live in a place that does not have one. I'm so sorry. And look at the workers. Look at how they style things. That's what's in. Number five, mixing in masculine pieces into outfits. So this really plays off of everything I just said. But if you look at Hailey Bieber, if you look at Kendall Jenner, specifically Hailey Bieber though, because I just have seen more photos of her and I'm a little more in touch with how she dresses. They do these oversized leather jackets. They do designer jeans that maybe are a looser fit. They have maybe a button down, right? An oversized button down. They might do a baseball cap, which might be more of, these are more manly pieces that I'm saying, a thick belt, right? The balance between feminine and masculine in an outfit and getting a little edgier and leaning into masculine pieces, I think that's something that'll happen in 2026, but according to my list, it's in. Number 6, clothing rental programs. This is something that was in for 2025 and it's remaining in for 2026. This for me has been in since 2022. A good clothing rental program. I am telling you guys, Nuuly's amazing. Fashion Pass is great. I have friends who do Rent the Runway. They're all good. Go for it. Sorry, this was like a bad day to film this podcast. My throat is kind of like effed up. But there's multitude of reasons why clothing rental programs are great. One, you're saving the world, you're helping the environment, you're not contributing to overconsumption. Two, you actually save money. I used to have a really bad shopping addiction back in 2021, 2020, ever since 2022, when I started literally taking a clothing rental program seriously and doing it. I don't have a shopping addiction anymore because I get 6 to 8 new pieces every month. And I just use my capsule wardrobe that I've curated, plus that, boom. I always have a different fit on. I think people think my closet goes crazy, but I'm not contributing to overconsumption. And I truly am saving money. Like it's like $100 a month. So I'm spending $1,200 a year. But I do not buy clothes. Like the only time I buy clothes is if it's like my, knock on wood, I don't even think that's wood. Let's say one of my staple pieces gets effed up, then yes, like I'm going to rebuy that. But I take really good care of my pieces, so it's fine. I've curated my wardrobe. So 1,200 on clothing a year for somebody who's an ex-shopping addict, that's not a big deal. And my shopping addicts know that. You guys know. You could drop 1,200 in one day. Don't even start with me. Number 7, I think we're on number 7. Peppermint tea. This is going to be in for 2026. I have not partaked in drinking it yet, but I'm going to for 2026. I heard it's great for digestion. Pretty sure there's like no caffeine in it. So that's good to drink at night or any point of the day if you're not looking to be up all night, if it's not an hour to drink caffeine. This is a great alternative. And I'm really looking forward to partake in this. Number 8, focus on expression. All right, here we go. Instead of focusing on validation, for example, focus on self-expression. So when I say focus on expression, 2026 is the year of we're not living for other people. We're not caring what other people think. We are focusing on expressing ourselves creatively, maybe in an artistic way, maybe in an athletic way, maybe in a business-minded way, maybe in a self-development way. Focus on expressing yourself and using art as a mechanism to process emotions. I think that's going to be huge for 2026. Number 9, developing a personal brand. This really was huge in the Chicago market, middle of 2025, and I just think it's going to continue into 2026. I just say Chicago because I live here. I'm pretty sure creatives who live in any major city, it's probably been top of mind for you guys. But the creative community here in Chicago, knowing what your personal brand is, leaning into that, developing that, that's huge. And I just see that taking storm and just continuing excessively into 2026. And I think this is great. I think it's awesome. I think personal brand goes farther than just, for business sake, for social media sake, for social media business sake, for goals sake. It goes internal. There's nothing wrong with leaning into your identity and cultivating what your personal brand is. And if you don't have a social media presence yet, if you're not an entrepreneur, if you don't even have aspirations to do either of those things, I think it's fun and creative to lean in and to develop for you what is your personal brand. It's close to saying what is your aesthetic. And you don't have to niche it down and get so granular. That's not the whole point. It's like all encompassing. Think I'm on 11? Admin nights. So I saw this circulating on TikTok and I am so excited to partake in this. It's like a micro trend that people have been discussing. Admin nights. This is going to be awesome for 2026. I can't wait to get all my friends involved. And for any of my friends watching right now, buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to do some admin nights. Basically, what I gathered from the videos I saw on TikTok, admin nights are when you go to a bar, a coffee shop, a place that's different from your home with a friend or a group of friends, and you just get stuff done. What I was seeing was they actually do it at a bar, but whatever your prerogative is, you know what I'm saying? So, hypothetically, you go to said bar with your friend and you get a drink, you bring your laptops, you sit down, and you just get whatever done you need to get done. For your 9 to 5, you need to work a little later, you can work on that. And maybe your friend's over there having to plan out her calendar for her travel and her obligations she has to do this year. And then your other friend is working on editing a video. That's admin night. I cannot wait. This sounds so productive. It sounds so fun. Tapping into community, hanging out with friends, and being productive while doing it. I cannot wait for these. Number 12, milkshake equals calcium intake. I had this epiphany about a month ago. I had a huge loss of appetite after my breakup about 4 months ago. And, a lot of things weren't sounding good to eat because of heartbreak. LOL. But a milkshake sounded really good. I had a few milkshakes over the course of that time. And I've decided that milkshake is my favorite dessert. I really lost my sweet tooth as I've gotten older. I know I'm actually crazy. A lot of desserts don't sound good to me. Only super niche desserts. One being a milkshake. A milkshake always sounds good to me. Strawberry milkshake from McDonald's to be exact. So I've been incorporating these. I mean, obviously not every day, not every week. There's a lot of sugar in milkshakes. And I'm not saying that to partake in diet culture. I'm saying that for physical well-being, like too much sugar, it doesn't feel good on the mental and the body. Like it physically and mentally doesn't feel good to have too much sugar. But having a milkshake twice a month or once a week, whatever you want, is the best. And it is a huge form of calcium. I had that epiphany. I don't get a lot of calcium because I'm not a regular milk drinker. Milk? Why did I say it like that? I'm not a regular milk drinker. I'm not a regular yogurt eater unless it's my coconut cult and I have like a spoonful of that because that's a probiotic. But I'm drinking this milkshake and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is awesome. I think my bones needed this right now. And to play off of that, number 13, burger equals protein. That's obvious. We all knew this. But I've incorporated red meat and beef back into my diet this year. Best decision I could have made. I mean, my iron levels have to be just so much more phenomenal now. And burgers are delicious. They are quite literally so good. You get so much protein by just eating a single burger. Seriously, like you are getting a huge protein intake. So, milkshake and burger, I mean, come on, you can't go wrong. And honestly, like, I mean, if you don't want the bun, like, that's fine. You can do the lettuce wrap, but, I'm a huge advocate of having a balanced meal. So, have fries or something on the side. But it's really not that bad, especially if you make this stuff from home. You're not going to have a lot of additives and grease because you're making it. This is a great meal. This is great. Number 14, hot yoga. I loved hot yoga all through 2025. So this is one that is continuing into 2026. There's quite literally nothing better, especially if you live in Chicago and it's freaking freezing for us. It feels so good, y'all. And I'm really big into yoga for stress relief and mental clarity and getting into the present moment, but then also the physical benefits. To play off of that, the next one, I lost my count. I think this might be 15. Next one is sound baths. Oh, me and my bestie Al, Lil Al. Oh, we are on a mission to go to every sound bath we can find in this freaking city. Okay. I'm going to one on Saturday. I'm so excited. Sound baths open up your chakras. You release any negative emotions. You process things and it's healing for the body. And I went to one 3 weeks ago. And when I tell you guys, I felt the best I had felt in a really long time the rest of that day. Oh, but the thing is you can look up frequencies and sound bath sounds on YouTube and things of that nature, and that's great. I highly recommend to do it. I will say, if you go to one in person, that's what's actually going to impact you though on a visceral level because you feel the vibrations in the room. Like when they're playing these like bowls and these instruments, I'm not kidding. You're laying in Shavasana, you can feel the vibrations. Like I felt tension leaving my body. And if you have some negative emotions come up when you're laying in Shavasana and doing that, that's quite normal. That means you're letting go of that. I had a lot of anger my last sound bath. I did. I had a lot of anger. But then I felt so good when it was done and I let it process and move through me. I didn't feel angry the whole Shavasana. We were doing that for like 15 minutes, but I had angry emotions come up. So that was really cool to release that from my system. Number 16, green juice. Green juice has been something I've dabbled in and loved for a very long time. I worked at 2 juice bars back in the day. I love a good health juice bar. Green juice fell off for me last year. I didn't really partake. I don't think I really drank any except some celery juice every now and then. But incorporating green juice back into my life is something that'll be happening for 2026. Number 17, matching sweat sets plus hair and makeup combo. Okay? I made a TikTok video about this. These sweat sets are so expensive, and I love sweat sets. I relate to Alex Cooper. I love being a diva in a sweat set. I love spending extra money on getting a name brand sweat set. I do. I do. I love blowing money on an Aloe sweat set. I'm wearing a Lulu one right now. I really only buy expensive sweat sets, okay? Because this is my fashion game for 50% of the time. A lot of people think I'm a girly girl, and I am a girly girl, but I'm a Taurus. I love a platform UGG and a sweat set. So we're definitely carrying that into 2026, 1,010%. Leggings tucked into socks. This is something that fell off for me personally in 2025. And it was really big back in the day. When I was in college, this was like super cool and like such a thing. But with those super cute aloe socks, you know what I'm talking about? Like those over the ankle aloe socks, we got to show those off. You know what I mean? Like those are just too flippin' cute. And then if you go to Pilates and you have the high like socks, like it's so cute. So yeah, leggings tucked into socks. Oh yeah, we're really tapping into that. Balanced workout schedule. So with this, I'm meaning a balance between rest days, like actually incorporating rest days, actually incorporating strength training, still doing some hot yoga, and still dabbling in a Pilates class every now and then. This is my balance schedule. You can create yours. There's just a heavy emphasis on balance. I'm a person who gets really tense. And this past year, I would forget to do yoga. And so then I started having knee problems because I was doing too much high intensity stuff and not enough stretching stuff. So towards the end of 2025, I got back into the yoga game, but doing a balance. Like I'm trying to find the balance between, okay, strength, yoga, all the things. Self-care nights in plus rest days. I just talked about how rest days are important. Yeah, going back to like one of my first things I said about being selective with where I'm spending my money, my time and my energy, self-care nights in, yeah, that's sticking in 2026. You know how much money I save when I do a self-care night in? Do you know how much I enjoy a self-care night in? I enjoy it immensely. The only thing you really have to invest in are some face masks. You don't have to, but it's a great addition to your self-care night in. Some fun snacks. And you can Uber Eats if you're lazy and not feeling making food. But my thing is, I'm going to have groceries and make food. And it's quite literally an amazing night. Like, treat yourself, make something that you really want. Maybe just make your dinner and Uber Eats like a McDonald's milkshake. Watch your favorite show. Tell Me Lies is about to come out. Oh, self-care nights in watching Tell Me Lies. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. But yeah, that's going to be huge for 2026. That's totally going to be in. And my last thing is vintage designer pieces. The people who I really got close with in 2025, shout out Belly Fruit, shout out Lala Lux, Caro, and all of her stuff. You guys, they just really inspired me. They really impacted me, and I can feel my style changing. I don't really have any designer bags really. Like, I have some hand-me-down ones, but I used to be the girl that's like, okay, I want to drop at some point 3 to 4,000 on just simple standard YSL bag, which I'm not opposed to. I still might do that, right? Or like the Christian Dior saddle bag. I'm not opposed to. I love those bags. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Never say never. But now I'm kind of like, when I come up with this money at some point, I might more so be the girl to invest in some niche vintage designer pieces when I come across this sum of money. I don't know. Now for the juicy, the out list for 2026. Number 1 on the out list, flexing. Can we just all collectively stop? Just stop. Quite literally, everybody knows when someone is flexing. You're not slick. Nobody's slick when they're flexing, okay? We all know you're trying. I'm not saying don't be confident. That's not what I'm saying. It's not the point. But some of these bitches be flexing, y'all. Just drop it. Like, what you trying to prove for real? You know what I'm saying? Number 2, the phrase all PR is good PR. This is crazy. This was on my in list for 2025. It is now on the out list for 2026 because of some situations I was placed in. And I came to the realization, I learned the hard way, that not all PR is good PR. Remember that, Queenie Pops. Number 3, burnout. We're not doing it. We're just not doing it. Your 9 to 5, your job, your work, your school. Adios, burnout. No. No, if you have maybe a toxic boss who doesn't give a shit if you're burnt out, if you have a coach for the sport you play, no. Rest is key. You will perform your best if you take rest and if you take your time sometimes. Consistency is more likely to happen and be stronger when you do not push yourself to burnout or even push yourself past the point of burnout. We're not doing that in 2026. That's why the self-care nights are in. All right, number 4, being overly accommodating. I know, I sound bitchy for this one, don't I? Well, it's okay because I'm not trying to be accommodating here. We're not being overly accommodating, guys. Like, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's because here's the thing, you can be a good person and have good intentions and be so nice to people and wish the best for people. That can be true. And what can also be true in lieu of that is not overdoing it, overgiving, overextending yourself at the cost of your happiness, of your peace, of your goals. That's something I learned in 2025. When you're people pleasing and overgiving and overextending yourself and just trying to make sure that you're on everybody's good side, you're making everybody happy. Take it from a girl who has a lot of projects, a lot of big aspirations. That's what I was neglecting by being overly accommodating. And here, walking into 2026 and to 2025, I've pissed off some people. And if you're watching this and I pissed you off, I truly am deeply sorry. But the thing is we got goals to attend to. You do, I do, all of us. So that's That's what's going on with that. Number 6, skinny jeans. I know Alex Earl, like beginning of last year, like dropped a skinny jean line. Where did that go? Where it fell off, y'all, because skinny jeans are out. They're out. No, just I know they've been out. They kind of made a comeback. They're out. Don't even play in that territory. It just doesn't look right. I get it tucked into the tall boots. I'm going to be quite frank. I don't even really like it with the tall boots. If you're going to do the tall boots, wear a mini skirt, wear a mini dress, do the midi skirt with the tall boot. You don't need to tuck your jeans into your tall boots. It's giving 2014 in the wrong way. Sorry. Number 7, feeling the need to change up your alcoholic beverage of choice. This is one that I started leaning into at the end of 2025. I'm carrying it with me into 2026. What I'm carrying with me is not changing up my alcoholic beverage of choice. I quite literally don't care. My hyperfixation right now is Prosecco, and everybody in my immediate friend group, all of my family, my immediate family, both of those parties understand that Lauren's just going to drink Prosecco right now until this hyperfixation wears off. All those people understand that I have ADHD and I have certain things that I like to hyperfixate on. And always I have an alcoholic drink that I hyperfixate on. In 2024 and beginning of 2025, it was ranch water. Do I still like ranch water? Of course, I still love it. But right now, my hyperfixation drink is a Prosecco, a glass of Prosecco. And I'll update you guys when it changes. But I don't care. I'm not changing it because somebody's going to say to me, that's all you drink. That's all you're drinking. I quite literally don't care if somebody says that to me. I'm not feeding into this pressure of trying to change it up. No. Number 8, high intensity workouts 24/7. We're not doing that because it leads to injury. Okay? It leads to injury. That's injury is burnout on your body. And honestly, it might spark your cortisol, and that doesn't feel good. So, again, back to the balanced workout schedule. Next one, I lost track of count. Victim mindset. This was out for 2025, still is out for 2026. Oh, guys. Oh my gosh. It is so out, y'all. I took on this mentality in 2025 of letting go. I took on letting go of victim mindset. Actually, in 2024, carried that into 2025 because I started listening to Navy SEAL podcaster Jocko Willink, and my brother got me on it. And shout out L, like thank you so much for that. And this did change my life. I have caught myself throughout this year falling sometimes into victim mindset. Now, the growth pattern here is that I kicked myself out of it fairly quickly. But the reason it's still on the list for 2026 is we constantly have to remind ourselves and work on not falling into victim mindset. Life is easier for you. Life is better for you when you are in a stance of power and you decide to take charge of your life. I almost said take control of your life, but I'm a very religious, serious person or spiritual, religious and spiritual person. So I believe that God controls my narrative, but I'm not going to fall victim. God controls my narrative and guides my life, but me as a person also has autonomy and power over that. So I'm not going to play victim to what happens to me. I'm going to lean on my faith and lean into myself and connect to that. Next one, low carb diets. Yeah, I did not partake in this in 2025. Leading into summer, there was too much skinny talk going on, and I made a ton of videos on how much I hated that. I hate skinny talk. I don't even like the people who talk about like ways to eat, and I don't really love that. I'm not gonna lie. I love recipe sharing. I love a healthy lifestyle. I don't agree with low carb diets because when you cut out carbs entirely, when you cut out any food group entirely. But let's talk about carbs for a second. That is not sustainable for your entire life. The minute you allow carbs back into your diet, you're going to put on the weight. Okay? And guys, I know that was kind of what I just said. I'm even kind of cringing at that. Like, that wasn't really media trained to me. You guys know where I stand on that. I don't believe in diet, skinny talk, looking at the scale and like making sure you're skinny. I don't believe in any of that. But I will say, why are you doing a low carb diet? Like, the minute you get back on the carbs, it's going to hit you harder. It is. I'm just being honest. Next one. Saying we're too old for blank. No, cut the shit. Literally, cut the shit. Like, I'm 27. I'm in the upper range of the 20s. I'm probably approaching 30, way closer to 30 than any of you listening right now, okay? And I would never say that. My mom is the prime example of, one, a cool mom, two, young at heart, three, she looks the part, honey. She looks so good. And that woman is the life of the party. My mom is my biggest inspiration for that. She is such a youthful personality. She's glowing. She literally has like abs and she's 58. I hope she doesn't care. I just said her age on here. But she looks so good and she has so much fun and she's 58 years old. So anybody who wants to ever say to me like we're too old for that, please go talk to somebody else because you clearly haven't met my mother and you don't know where I came from. Because my mom is OG cool girl, OG party girl, OG diva, and I'm a mother's daughter, honey. So I ain't too old for shit. All right. Next one. Phones at dinner. Y'all, this has been out. This is quite the only time it's necessary if you're at dinner with anybody, literally anybody, to go on your phone is if I don't even want to say emergency, but if you really need to send a communication, right? Like, you just got to send it real quick. Like, I got to get this person an answer right now. That's fine, right? Like, sending a text like that, that's fine. If there might be one moment where it's like, oh, we need to check some stuff, that's okay. It's okay to pull out your phone and be like, let me reference something and show you this. But I'm talking waiting for the food and sitting on the phone. Now, here's the thing. I never have this problem with my friend group. My friend group is freaking awesome. And I never have this problem with my family. But like, I have a great social circle and family circle that I'm in that I don't have the problem at dinner of this issue. But I just want to make this very clear because I don't think everybody lives in the same experience that I do. And phones should not be at dinner. You should be communicating and engaging and connecting. Next one, Dasani water. Shout out Casey Welch. She was really upset that I put this on here. And I'm sorry, Case, but it's just not good to me. It's salty and it's cheap and they're starting to raise the prices on it. So I'm not spending money on that. No, it's out. Last one, fear mongering. This, I'm not even just talking about what we see in the news and the media. You'd be shocked, like the conversations I've had in 2025. I'm talking like social conversations. And I don't think these people knew they were doing it, but they low key were trying to fearmonger me subconsciously. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't want to hear about any scary story unless it's super huge and it's in the city that I live in and I need to know this is public knowledge and I'm unaware. That's different. But you don't got to tell me some super dark, depressing story and try to freak me out. And I know that's not always people's intentions, but it kills the vibe. Okay? Let's not fearmonger. Let's not, oh, you shouldn't. And when it comes to eating certain things, right? Like, I'm talking about drinking milkshakes and eating burgers, and people are going to say, oh, you can get cancer from that. And like, that's bad. Stop. We got to live. Like, we got to live. It's just, you're not in a good frequency when you're in a state of scarcity and fear and lack. So let's quit that. Wow, this was super fun. Thank you for tuning in. I know I've had 2 episodes. This is categorized as my first Blondie Pop podcast episode. I will have a guest star on next week. I cannot wait for you guys to see that. She is iconic. I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. This is somebody who is a really dear friend to me, and I love her. But yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll chat again soon. Bye, Queenie Pops.